Hello, you beautiful and gorgeous human beings. We're going to get into these notes on reading circle graphs and histograms. And again, to be extremely upfront with you, it's going to be a lot of math work. Because if we look at it, histograms and circle graphs, hold on, put your date and what unit you're in at the top. I believe we're in unit 11 or 12, but just honestly, ask your teacher. Just to keep you guys organized. All right, with histograms, they are very similar to dot plots. They have titles and labels of everything, just like dot plots do. We need to see if there are any skip counting in our histograms, because usually histograms are organized by ranges, and so there will be skip counting. And then lastly, dealing with histograms and circle graphs, we do a lot of percentage work, so we need to go back to our percent reminders that when we're trying to figure out a percent of a number, of means to multiply. So for example, if I'm trying to find 20% of 160, I'm just going to multiply 20% as a decimal, 0.2, times 160. Or set up a proportion, meaning percent out of 100 equals X out of your total. And honestly, that's probably what we're going to do, unless multiplying is easier. So let's just get into these questions on histograms, and then we will probably do the same-ish thing when we do circle graphs. So the number of strikeouts each pitcher on a team threw in their most recent game is shown below. The first thing that I always do, you guys should know this by now, is to read the graph. I'm going to pull out everything I possibly can just by reading the graph first before I even get to my questions and answer choices. So I have baseball strikeouts. Carlos looks like he threw 13. You threw 9 strikeouts. Samar threw 5. Do you guys see where I'm getting this? Because that's between the 12 and the 13, and the 9 is between the 8 and the 10. See, that's what I mean by skip counting. That's between the 4 and the 6. Justin threw 11. Jose threw 8. And Mark threw 4. Okay, what I just did there was put the totals of each player at the ends. I honestly do the same thing for dot plots. I put the total at the top. So then I can just add together all my totals to figure out what my final total number is for amount of strikeouts. So I am going to add those together to find my total. I would love to do some mental math, but I'm also a fan of showing work. So 13 plus 9 plus 5, 11, 8, and 4. All right, 3 plus 9 is 12, plus 5 is 17, plus 1 is 18, plus 8 is 26, plus 4 is 30. 0, carry the 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. So it looks like there were a total of 50 strikeouts. Now I need to know that because if I'm dealing with percents, I'm going to have to do percent out of 100 equals what out of my total. I now know my total is 50. All right, question number 1. Which of the following pitchers, and yes, I'm now moving on to the question because I found everything I possibly can from the graph without reading the question first. All right, which of the following pitchers accounts for a total of 40% of the strikeouts? Okay, so since I'm trying to find 40% of 50, I can, what is 40% of 50? I know 50 is my total because it says 40% of the strikeouts in my question. So I can just multiply 40.4 times 50. Or I could set up a proportion. 40 out of 100 equals what out of 50? Which honestly, in this case, kind of looks like the easier way. To get from 100 to 50, we divide by 2. To get from 40 to x, we do the same thing to the top as we did to the bottom. Therefore, x equals 20. Now, if I multiplied 0.4 times 50, and I go in once in my decimal. Oh, it still looks like the answer is 20. So either way you solve it, your answer is going to be 20. So I'm looking for a combined sum of 20. So let's look at Jose, Samar, and Justin. So Jose was 5 plus 9 is 14 plus Justin, 11. Does that equal 20? No. So I know A is not my answer. Because what was that? 14 plus 11, it came out to 25. You and Justin, so 9 plus 11 does equal 20. So I know B is going to be my answer, but y'all know we're going to go and invalidate the other answers. Mark, Samar, and Jose was 4 plus 5 plus 8, which comes out to 17. So it can't be those guys. And then Jose plus Carlos is 8 plus 13, which is 21. There you have it, guys. So really the hardest part of this question is just trying to figure out what is 40% of 50. And then from there, I just feel like it's simple logic. Okay, let's answer this other question that does deal with the same graph. Which of the following statements best describes the data? You and Jose have as many strikeouts as Carlos. So I need to add together you plus Jose. So you is 9, Jose is 8. So that's 17. Does that equal the amount Carlos did? 13. No, it does not. So A cannot be my answer. All right, beauties, how about you go through B, C, and D? And then tell me what you get. All right, beautiful humans. I showed my work that B was my final answer because Mark times 2, so twice Mark, does equal Jose because 4 times 2 equals 8. I know Carlos is wrong because 13 out of 50 is not equal to 25 out of 100. And then I know the D is wrong because 1/2 of the total strikeouts should be 25, right? Because half of 50 is 25. And Justin plus you does not equal 25. It equals 20. So I know that D cannot be my final answer. So I hope you got it right. I hope you understand. Because now we're going to do that same logic to circle graphs. So in regards to circle graphs, they're actually pretty similar to, I guess, all other graphs. You'll have a title. Everything will be labeled. You might even have some missing information, like down here, I'm missing the amount of vanilla. But when it comes to circle graphs, because the total is out of 100 or the whole, we can easily find any sort of missing information. Okay, so circle graphs are cut into sections, like, pie type sections. They usually deal with percents. So again, another percent reminder is a percent of a number, like 17% of 50 means you just multiply 17% as a decimal, 0.17, times 50. Or set up a proportion, which is honestly what we'll probably do, meaning percents over 100. So like it would be 17 over 100 equals what out of 50? Equals X out of your total. Whatever total they give you. Okay, let's get into it. I am actually going to do the bottom question as an example, and I would love for you guys to do the how we get to school one as your practice to see if you truly understand how to do this. Let's get into it. Phoebe surveyed 50 classmates about their favorite ice cream flavor. So I already know my total is out of 50 classmates. How many more, that's important. How many more? That means I'm going to subtract at some point, right? Students chose vanilla over strawberry. So I need my strawberry percentage, my vanilla percentage, and 50 as my total. Okay. I need to figure out what is 18% of 50, and then clearly I need to figure out what percentage vanilla is. Since I know, we have to do that first. Since I know that my pie chart is the total is out of 100, right? Because we see we're dealing with percents. I need to put together what I know and then subtract it from 100. So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and add up 14 plus 42 plus 18. and then subtract from 100 and tell me what you get. All right, I got 26%. So now I need to find what is 18% of 50 and what is 26% of 50. So I'm going to do it on the left side here. Not vanilla, vanilla. I know how to spell, but it's okay. I'm a math teacher. Vanilla is 26 out of 100 equals what out of 50? And then strawberry, I'm going to abbreviate and just put straw, is 18 out of 100, 18% is what out of 50? Now, usually you would just cross multiply and divide, but if there's an easy scale, I'd rather just do that. And there is an easy scale here. 100 divided by 2 equals 50. So I can just do that same thing to the top. Divide by 2. 26 divided by 2 is 13. And then strawberry divided by 2 is 9. But I am trying to figure out how many more chose vanilla over strawberry, meaning my final step is to subtract, and this is simple mental math. You guessed it. 4 students. Okay, this one actually had a little bit extra step because we needed to figure out what vanilla percentage was, which honestly may be on the test, guys. Be aware of that. But it's okay because a pie is always out of a whole, which is 100 is your whole. Try that same logic with this question, how we get to school, with a poll out of 80 students. So that's your total. All right, beauties, hopefully you were able to come out to 8. Another way to solve this one, and I just want to show you real quick, is that 40% is greater than 30% by 10%. And I could have just found what is 10% of 80, which just means we move the decimal to the left one time. So I could have found 8 that way as well. Subtracting first, then just finding 10% of 80, which honestly would have been easier. However, this strategy will work, the strategy we used by setting up 2 proportions will work on any and all of these types of problems. But considering this one just dealt with tens of percents, multiples of tens, it might have been easier to solve it that way. All right, beauties, if you had any questions on any of this, please, please, please ask your teacher. It's our job. Let us help you. We want to educate you.